We have talked about this before, but what you get from Avatar that you don't get with The Hurt Locker is you sit there and at several points you say, oh my God.
You do, and that's perfectly fine, but you don't say, oh my God, because it's 3D. I mean, actually, the one thing I feel particularly pleased about here is heaven knows what the world would be like if a 3D movie just won Best Picture, because as we all know, the industry is attempting to ram 3D down our throats and telling us it's the future. Of course it isn't. It's a gimmick, like anything else.
Can I just interrupt you there?
Well, you go ahead.
Well, no, it turns out it is the future. Alice in Wonderland has just opened over the weekend, hasn't it? And that's 3D. And apparently I don't have the figures in front of me.
40 million.
It's taken an astonishing amount of money. How much is it?
116-something million.
116 million.
Yeah, but let me be absolutely clear about this. Alice in Wonderland has not taken that money because it's in 3D. Funnily enough, over the weekend, I paid to see Alice in Wonderland in 2D, having seen it in 3D at a press screening, and it is a better film in 2D. It's a film that is retrofitted.
You are determined to win this argument.
I am. It's a film that is retrofitted into 3D by being filmed against green screen and then being done with CG 3D. It is not the reason the film has done well. I mean, I'm sorry. You can have this argument infinitely, but just because a 3D movie takes money doesn't mean it's 3D. I mean, it just doesn't mean that that's the future. It's like saying a movie with Julian Sands in it can be good. It doesn't mean Julian Sands is good.
I'm just not sure you're right. I think that a lot of people who went to see Alice in Wonderland over the weekend were attracted by the fact that it's in 3D. There's a novelty there.
Yeah, novelty. No, out of your own mouth are you condemned? It's a novelty. That's exactly it. It's like giving away free lollipops. It's like odorama. It's like Sense-Around. It's like it's a novelty and it is nothing else. And had Avatar won the Best Picture Oscar, we would now be living in a world in which everybody was able to say, well, look, the future has arrived and here's the award to prove it. And that, frankly, is the brave new dawn that I was dreading. So as I said before, glad to be wrong.
Look, out of my own mouth, I am not condemned, because if you agree with me that people went to see that film because it's in 3D, novelty or not, it means it's doing well because it's in 3D.
No, the novelty of 3D will wear off. That's the essence of novelty.
But it's working at the moment, Mark.
But it's not. The fact is that people didn't go to see Alice in Wonderland because it was in 3D. There may be a certain number of people...
Yes, they did. I think they did.
OK, well, the simple answer to this is you're wrong and I'm right. And there's really no other way of arguing it. It's Alice in Wonderland. It's one of the most enduring tales of all time. It's Tim Burton. It's a kid-friendly movie with a kid-friendly certificate at around the time when we are not... when the only other things fighting for kids' attention in the cinema is Benjamin Sniddlegrass and the Cauldron of Penguins. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's not the 3D. It's Alice in Wonderland in the cinema, directed by Tim Burton.